Yo, yo,
Talk to me.
pass the mic, man.
Talk to
Pass
him.
the mic, man.
You got it? Talk to him.
Listen, you killed that. But I got to be practical. So
Talk to me.
y'all gonna get this shit real simple. If I can stop crypto, I would. I told y'all from the start. If you've been with me for 3 years, you understand that's been my number one talking point. If there was one wish that I can grant, is to stop this shit from happening. All right. And I'm gonna tell you why. Yeah, we can make money in this. Yes, we're lined up correctly. Yes, you're in the right group. Why is there only 97 people in here? Oh, God knows why. I think we got another 30 on YouTube. And listen, YouTube, we got some tip bots. So if you guys are in there and you're seeing the value that Champ just dropped, because he dropped a lot of information. And if you know crypto, you know that he connected a lot of dots just now. But I'm the voice of practicality, right? I'm the guy that's looking way far past this. Okay. What you're seeing is a shift in tyranny. This ain't freedom. This ain't sovereignty. The private sector in America is looking to rule over the entire world. That's why they're getting rid of the Vatican. That's why they're getting rid of Schwab in the World Economic Forum. That's why they defunded the WHO organization. They're looking to take their place. They're not doing it for us. Let's keep that in mind. I don't want y'all to be happy because remember, what could be given could be taken. So when we go digital, what turns on can turn off. All right. So if y'all want to play the game correctly, take your pen and paper out. Story time.
Uh-oh.
So what we're facing right now is a new face of globalization, right? This is the Americans' shrinking advantage. They're shrinking right now. I want to repeat something that my wife said the other night at dinner, but I don't want to repeat it on this call, but I'll drop it on the members only call just to show you how wicked these individuals are and what their base, let's just where they come from. All right, we're talking about guys from like cold temperatures and Caucasus Mountains, pure evil. So you think they looking to give you an advantage?
Mm-mm.
So YouTube, all this Bitcoin talk about, oh, it's sovereign and it's free and it's real. Fuck out of here. It's, anything that you're buying with fiat is still make believe at the end of the day. We're on ramping with fiat. So how real can this new asset class be? This was nothing more than a flight to safety, like they say, right? They played dumb the last 4 or 5 years and even prior. Oh, we catch anybody trading Bitcoin. We knew these guys were building this out. You could look at every single piece of information that we put out there going back 3 years. And this even actually, we were talking about this even before the internet damn near existed in a sense of social media. So I say that to say, oh, you think they're killing these current tyrants to not be the new tyrant? They're going to have at least, they're going to have more power because of the digital aspect to it, right? You want sovereignty, you want to use that paper money, even if they were printing it. Because if I do a deal with Mike right now and we exchange cash, who the hell knows? Just Mike and I. But now everything's on the blockchain, immutable. You can't change it, you can't sidestep it. We watch Russia get sanctioned digitally, right? We watch Ukraine raise capital through cryptocurrency. When you saw what they did to Russia, I said, don't celebrate that because that's what's to come. There was no court order. You had Russian Americans that had to take their kids out of private schools because they had no access to money, right? Just because of alleged ties to Putin and their organization. What do you think they're going to do when you don't comply? You think the next time they need you to take a vaccine or create a vaccine passport and you don't comply, what the hell do you think they're going to do to your digital assets?
Blacklist them.
Okay,
Freeze
so
them.
now let's play the globalization game. And for that student of ours, I'm going to address you too that talked about, oh, another infomercial. Pull up a chair. You're only paying $50 a month, and this information is super valuable. So if I'm telling you that I'm moving cross country, showing you guys how to make plays, and you calling that shit an infomercial, cancel your membership, get up out of here. Because I don't have to do it. I don't have to do it. You come, you come. You don't, you don't. But let's talk about why it's important to go global and not local with your mindset first. The illusion of permanent dominance. All right. So for decades, the United States operated under the belief that it would what? Always be the global leader economically, military, and culturally. Right? Globalization was designed for what? With the US in the center. But today, the center is what? It's crumbling. All right. So many countries are no longer playing by American rules. They're creating new ones. Okay. Every time I see Trump cut some type of funding, it opens up a floodgate for a wealth of information that we had no idea how much government spending was connected to controls, not only on the internet with podcasters, right? Not only in countries in Africa that now are hiring their own scientists to look at vaccines that were doing what? Killing the birth rate. This is being done to us also here, genetically. Understand that. Not all viruses or not all vaccines work the same in every single body. They know our genetic makeup. We don't. Y'all want me to keep going? Because I told you I needed 150 people in here for me to spaz out. And where we at?
We just shy of 100 right now.
All right. And there's 30 something over there on. So we short. So I got to honor what I say. So I'm not going to give it all, but I'm going to give you a little bit. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Okay. All right. So countries just ain't playing by the rules anymore. America cannot go to war with everybody at the same time. Gaddafi was here, Saddam Hussein was here. They just didn't have the collective, right? So when BRICS comes on board, you cannot fight Russia and China at the same time. Period. So we could do what? We could fund proxy wars, right? The Ukraine situation is nothing more than a proxy war. We are just looking to bleed their military from the inside out. And Ukraine is just the middleman in that. We put a bad actor, really a bad actor. He's like literally an actor and a comedian. This is what they do. This is how they destabilize governments. They've done this from the country that my parents are from. I've watched them gut many nations before. So when the pendulum swings back to America, y'all want to be here for that? I've been saying this for years. Nobody has this talking point. The first will become the third will become the first. I should trademark all this stuff. But they ain't got the sauce. So they could say it. It just sounds dumb when they do. All right. So the global shift is here. All right. So China just surpassed the United States in what? Manufacturing. And they're now challenging the dominance in AI, energy, and infrastructure. So when that clown, JD Vance, these guys are clowns, right? Because that's that white privilege stuff that they're trying to pull here. Calling these dudes peasants. Are you kidding me? We all need each other. I'm gonna tell you exactly where the United States went wrong. Even though these guys have 1,000-year plans, but they will destroy everything in their path, even their own selves, just to play this dominant game. And time's up. Time's up. All right. So if I'm telling you that the third world is going to be the first world and the first world is going to be the third world, who has the more upside in this? You want to play the American hand or you want to play the East African hand? You want to play the American hand or you want to play the South American, Latin American hand? Y'all want me to keep going? All right. You connect the dots because I don't want to shoot another infomercial. Oh, God. You lucky we on YouTube tonight.
So good talk, bro.
So India is also emerging as a digital powerhouse, right? Younger, more tech-enabled population. They've been setting up and investing in their younger generation for decades now. What are we doing for our children in this country? You see the way they treat the elderly and you see the way they treat the women. I mean, the children. And that'll tell you the future. That's how I knew that this place it just cannot thrive. It can't. When these guys went around, the Microsofts, those big sevens, whatever you want to call those tech companies, and they made all this money throughout the world, what they wanted to do was they wanted to control one thing in the world, and it was IP. That's what they did, right? Here's the problem. When they received all that capital from all that tech IP that they put out into the world that they needed, here's where they played the hand wrong. So when the money came back, sure, where do you think they invested the money? 14 wars over the last couple decades. No other country could even surpass that number, even if you added all the nations together. We created the industrial military complex and we invested in war. Everybody else was invested in people. Can you imagine if they would have turned the money around? You look at Burkina Faso in just less than 1 year, the amount of free medical, free schooling from everything from grade all the way up to universities, everything could happen instantly. And this is a country, when they start to call Haiti the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, it's the power of words and perception. Because there was one point where Haiti's dollar was more dominant than the Americans, than the US dollar. But when you can create instability, when you can drop, white Jesus and churches and all this other stuff into these countries, that's where you started to get instability because you have people not having any faith, losing their spirituality. The playbook is whack, man. This country is whack for that. And I don't care about none of these nationalist dudes. Smack the hell out of these guys. And that's another problem. We not militant enough in our approach to how they even treat us in this country. That's why they can talk slick. That's why they can do passive aggressive shit. That's why we allow them to teach our kids, and there's no connection point. Like, yo, when is enough enough? They don't rock with us. And y'all gotta understand, right? This world is our playground. So I see people online, like when I kind of spaz out a little bit, they're like, oh, everybody's going against the American situation. No, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. I'm not standing on a flag. Like, what? It's just about good and evil at this point now. And I don't care which administration it is. Yeah, they open up the floodgate for crypto. Listen, let's just get this money and fund the revolution. That's it. And if now y'all not willing to do that, then get up out of here because I'm telling you, they will have the vice grip on this place. It's going to be a police state. Everywhere you go, you can't go past 10 yards and you're just going to feel like you're in a bubble because the only thing that America produces is celebrities and they market off of, they make money off our backs. So not only do we get taxed when we work, we get taxed when we purchase something and then we get taxed when we sell something. And none of it is legal. So the Chinese are peasants. So what does that make us then? Slavery ain't end, man. They playing the same game with us. We all in the blender together.
Real shit.
These tech elite guys are the absolute worst of the worst. So we lose the Catholic Church and the Vatican, and then we get Bezos and Elon Musk. Them dudes is weirdos, man. Ultimate dominance through technology, dumbing down of a country, a nation of people who can't think. What do you think the future of America is going to look like? I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here. The world is too big to keep playing this game with these guys. God, I'm annoyed by this because it's so dumb. And the worst part, it's not even those guys with their play because it's so obvious now because we ain't champion. I ain't telling you nothing that you don't already know.
Already know it.
But it's like, at what point are we going to stop playing the game with these guys? Stop supporting their businesses. If they don't have money, they can't control and keep building these systems. Take it back to the beepers. Take it back to landlines. Take it back to mom and pop retail.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't want to do that. So I'm going off grid. So BRICS nations, you got Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa,
Mhm.
creating alternative financial system. We've been told y'all about this, excluding the US dollar. All right. Countries in Africa and Latin America are breaking from the US and the EU influence and demanding mutual beneficial partnerships. They have days to leave these countries in Africa. This is happening all across the world. Colombia today, I found out that the vice president of African descent, female, was at the UN asking for reparation. Haiti needs their money back from France. They're not giving it. But I'm just telling you, just pay attention to what's happening. You understand? Every country is one leader away from making dramatic changes. The US cannot bomb everybody at the same time. We don't have enough capability. You know what it reminds me of when that dude knocked out Suge Knight, and then after that, everybody his chin was like on display for everybody.
Mhm.
David and Goliath, right? That's the story.
Yeah.
That's where we at right now. Okay, I'll keep going. All right, we up to 99. Check YouTube because if we can get to 150, guys, I'm telling you,
We at 50. We at 50 over there. We one shot right
we
now.
one shy. Come on, one more person, and I'm gonna let loose. I'm not even gonna say nothing until one more person come in this room. Y'all better not drop off. I'll finish this talking point here, and then I'll wait. So people are breaking away from the US and the EU influence, and they need mutually beneficial partnerships. That's what globalization is about. Not using countries for cheap labor, not the exploitation of Africa, not the exploitation of black and brown nations. No, that ain't it. And to think that we come from this country and we have to travel with that passport to other countries, how do you think we're viewed? We got 100?
We at
Let's fucking
150.
go.
Let's go. Let's talk to him.
All right. So we just talked about the global shift. So now here we go. The backlash against exploitation. All right. So nations are cutting ties with Western powers. Okay. They exploit natural resources. They manipulate their economies through debt and dependence. Y'all think y'all not part of the debt bubble, right? What China does is they hoard their money. The reason that they hoard their money is because they wait for they never had it, right? We don't have that sort of culture here. There is no culture here. We just buy into whatever they selling us. So now the Chinese get to like open up and expand because they have cash. We use debt, and our debt bubble's about to burst. I'm out in Colombia, and my point guy, I call him the plug, and not like that. Them just that's just the name I gave him, not the plug, just a plug, my plug. He says, I'm like, why are the people like so gracious here and things like that? He says, listen, for so long they've had to deal with the drug war, right? The guerrilla, the Pablo, Escobar and the deaths, and they've seen so much people dying around them, right? So when you get to a near death experience, what happens? You change your outlook on life. So this is a whole nation of people who were like so suppressed, right? Now that when you take the gloves off, they're so appreciative of life. That's why they're so gracious. In this country, oh man, we so privileged. We so privileged. We act like we really doing it. What's your debt to income ratio? Let's be honest. It looks great on paper, but let's be honest. What's your debt to income ratio? I'm one of them. 30-year mortgage, debt, the biggest debt, right? Okay. So we got this debt independence, all right? So now what these countries are doing is they're calling out neo-colonial practices and rejecting aid, okay? That comes with strings attached. This sound familiar, guys? They doing the same thing to us. The only difference is we got a lot of entertainment here. That's what the United States is good for. And I told my wife the other day, I was like, yo, really, honestly, the only thing I would really miss about America is the entertainment. Like we just get to see like black comedians when we want, little things like that. But I could live without it. But outside of it, I'm like, yo, entertainment. That's it. I was out there for 8 days. I was eating all types of meat because I just wanted to see what the difference was. Clearly a difference. I got back to America yesterday. We went out to dinner. My body started hurting the minute I finished dinner. And then I woke up with aches. And this was after 8 days of being there. So just being mindful of how different things are when you start to go to certain places and you start to change, because this is what happens instantly. When I speak to people that left America, they tell me instantly how their health changes. And then when they come back to America on a trip, they get sick immediately. And I felt like I was coming down with something, but I knew it wasn't. I didn't catch something out there. I knew it was the food I ate because that's how much I'm in tune with just myself now. Went to the gym, fought through the whole thing, and feeling better now. But being mindful of what you put in your body, you can't make a mistake because it's all coming from the ground. There is no Monsanto's and Bill Gates, the guy who gave us the computer with the virus, and then now he's in pharmaceutical and what? Are you kidding me? The conflict of interest with these guys. They say things out loud before AI was even a thing. It's like, yo, you can't even like, did you not hear what this guy said? They want to control the population. Like, what gives them the right to do that? As big as this world is, man, it's like, yo, we are all in major cities on top of each other. There is an abundance out there. And it's not until you leave the country you start to realize how abundant the world really is. And I'm not talking about going on vacation for 3, 4, 5 days and not seeing it through the eyes of like actually people on the ground. Because when you drive through from the airport to whatever resort you go to, all you see is poverty all over the world. Okay, cool. You at the resort, full service, everything's cool. But that's not reality. I'm out with the people. And I'm out with the people in America, and I know what the reality is. And I know the cause and effect behind why everybody from America to wherever else I go is in the position they in. And it's one or two people that's attached to it. The Zionist banking cartel, because that's who's running the show.
Big facts.
One of them. And then everybody else who's kind of like playing stepson to them, which is our current president now on some bullshit. But I knew it. Robert F. Kennedy, same thing. They all on some bullshit. They gonna make it look good and sound good, but they on the bullshit. All right. Okay, 103. I paid attention. Now we're gonna start asking for 1,000.
Word.
All right. So now you have this backlash against exploitation. Okay. Countries like Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso are openly defying France and not align and now aligning with Russia and China now. That's the protection piece that they needed. Fuck around and find out. I have no, I never wanted to go to, I never want to go to, I've never been to Europe. I have no desire to go. My wife, France, whatever. I'm like, I don't want to do it
Mm-hmm.
for obvious reasons where my family comes from. Because that place should be a third world country at best if it wasn't for the exploitation that they do around the world. So y'all better take y'all pictures with the Eiffel Tower and all that other stuff because they're cooked. Absolutely cooked. The artifacts don't belong to them. None of it was built with their own blood, sweat, and tears. They just exploited the world. So let me not shoot another let me not shoot another infomercial about Colombia. I'm just trying to give y'all opportunity. And it's not just about Colombia. You can find these opportunities in other countries. You can make multi-millions of dollars running ice trucks up and down rural areas. So y'all want to keep playing the game here with these global elite who just took down the other global elites? I don't care who's dumb and who's dumber. It's just all dumb. I like that. That was good.
That's a bar.
I like that. Don't be dumb. All right. So how the U.S. is playing its hand? Yo, they so dumb. God, they so dumb. And I'm finding enjoyment in these Chinese guys that's cooking us online too. I'm like finding good enjoyment in it because these guys have a sense of humor and they've been waiting to do this. Keep poking the bear. You're gonna find out. And listen, I'm not here. I'm not bashing America. I'm just saying, yo, we got to do better. We got to do better. All right. So this is how they play in their hands. China is building Belt and Road. All right. They're creating the digital Wuhan. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, one. You want?
Wuhan.
Yeah.
Chance my Rosetta Stone. My Alexa.
My God.
All right. And then they're making quiet deals with Africa and Latin America right now. One of the good things is when I spoke to, my attorney and out there, she mentioned them not liking to do business with the Chinese, cutting ties with them.
Yeah.
Then my plug talked about not doing business with the certain person starting with the letter J, ending with the letter H, random out the country. Y'all can
Mhm.
fill in the blanks. Y'all can type it in the chat.
Yeah. Wow.
This is just so to stay compliant. I only want to get the word out. I'm not scared of that. I just need to stay compliant to get the word out. But I get what I'm saying, right? Starts with
Yeah.
a J, ends with a H.
Yeah.
Right. Those guys. These guys are dumb. All right. So Russia is resisting US sanctions and turning commodity backed trade systems. So here we go. They sidestepped the sanctions with what? Cryptocurrency. What do you think is going to happen right now? You haven't begun to see interest rates increase in this country. I don't care what they do. I don't care how much they try to portray that this thing is getting here. They're going to cut it down to 2.5%. They're going to get the ride back on. I'm just telling y'all, grab this money and get up out of here with it. And when I say get up out of here with it, I'm just saying start to look for opportunity in emerging markets to grow that capital. Turn it into an asset, a global asset. We've been telling you gold and silver since the beginning of time. Silver is poised to really blow.
Ooh, facts.
It's in everything. Like gold shouldn't even be that. That's a meme coin to me. It's of abundance. It's all over the world.
Yeah.
What can you do with it outside of wearing it? But that
Mhm.
silver is in everything, tools, machinery, you name it. They trying to build these factories. You ain't doing it in gold.
Solar panels, all that. Yeah. Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's underpriced, guys. And Trump was saying, he's like, nah, this gold is silver is too cheap. We got to get the price up.
33 dollars an ounce.
Man, that's supposed to be $3,300 an ounce.
Facts.
And think about it, it's not as abundant as gold.
Hmm.
Gold is everywhere in the ground. And they have technology to show you where it's all at now. Silver's the play. Money Mike, no.
Hmm.
All right, let me keep going. So BRICS Plus, Champ talks about it all the time, guys, is expanding influence, inviting Gulf states and African nations into the financial club. This is what's happening. Latin American countries like El Salvador and Argentina are embracing Bitcoin. That's dumb. I wouldn't call for them to do that, but it's all good. Um, at the end of the day, guys, everybody's exploring non-US investment paths. That's why Trump and them are hell bent on making sure that Ripple stays in the US because they were about to leave. Man, I'm telling you, if we had 4 years with this lady, forget it. We'd have been cooked under Democratic rule.
Yeah.
Absolutely cooked because their whole thing was George Soros. If you don't know who he is, you need to Google him. You got to get this guy up out the way. We talking about a guy that creates cultural instability in nations,
Yeah.
right? Trying to bring American culture to African countries. She over there in Africa talking about, yeah, you got to kind of, the love is love. And they like, yo, we ain't playing that here. Respect our culture. That's it. That's all these countries ask for is just respect their culture. Shit turned into a zoo. You start to play with words and people start to not know the meaning of the words. And then you start to get confused. And a confused mind is a control mind.
Mm.
Y'all see where I'm going? So they got adults confused. So imagine the children that don't know left from right. He, she, they. I ain't really good with that stuff. And for obvious reasons, because I don't really care about it. So yeah, correct me. But who's dumb? They made up a language. That I'm in these countries. My metric system doesn't even work in those countries. So now I have to learn the real metric system. So who's dumb? I'm like, yo, please convert that. Now I'm just like, you know what? Let me learn that because that's the way of the world. Kilometers, right? Meters, hectares.
Yeah.
I don't care to learn the English language properly. Okay, good. I make fun of myself with it. Got it. They love correcting me on Instagram. Yo, I'm like, yo, y'all don't got nothing better to do. Did you miss the point? But that's the American way, just to poke fun at people. Bunch of bullies. And they don't even know who I am and what I'm built for and what I'm actually put here to do. So y'all worried about there, and there? For what? All right. Sorry, I'm a little busy.
Yeah, I keep talking that talk, man.
All right. So what does this mean for individuals? This is what we need to do, guys. So you can no longer think like a local. You need to think like a sovereign global citizen. What the fuck did we just create the other day? We went from um, crypto crypto global access with GCA.
GCA, yep.
Then
Crypto.
we messed around and called it crypto sovereign access
Access.
GSA.
Yep.
Ain't nobody coining these terms online. So when y'all talking, sending me pages of cryptocurrency dues and all that other stuff, yo, just miss me with the stuff because I've already lapped them. It just looks close, but they're miles behind. Champ got him in a chokehold. He can handle the cryptocurrency, and I'm just the practicality of it. So y'all gonna still keep thinking local, or y'all keep wanting me to keep shooting these infomercials for y'all? Because I can go dark. I can go dark. You can keep that little $50. Yeah, shit. I know the value of that. That shit go quick.
What you say, Ash? Nah, keep the info coming. Inform me, motherfucker.
Straight up. You calling me an infomercial? Me? Shit. The amount of hours and dot connects and listen, if you're on YouTube, man, just drop a couple dollars, man.
Real talk.
Tip bot, like we commoditized now, man. That's what all these dudes been doing. The guys making tens of thousands. These dudes say, "Don't buy a home. A home is not," and then everybody goes crazy. Oh my God, EYLs are smart. No, no, no. These guys are Democrats. They have talking points that are based in uh, local mentality.
Mm-hmm. Real talk.
That's it. And we all really put here to sharpen each other at the end of the day. So when you start having these new, fresh perspectives, when people are saying, "Yo, uh, our podcast is dead," man, I would destroy a podcast right now.
Real
The
talk.
old podcast is dead. What they want is they want genuine information. They want genuine people. They don't want the talking points. They don't want to hear about who pays for dinner on the first date. Like, yo, y'all dudes is weak. Just see it for what it is. They're not married. They don't got families. They just not there yet. It's just about them.
Mhm.
I know who cares about people, and I know who cares about their own pockets. I know the difference between profit and profit.
Mm.
Don't let that go over your heads. I know there's two ways to spell that one. I might be stuck on some other stuff, but I ain't stuck on dumb all the time. All right, let's go. All right, so having a plan B outside of the United States, it's no longer a luxury, it's survival, guys. So if I'm trying to put something together and I'm talking about tokenizing the situation and being the first tokenized project in all of Latin America, what are y'all talking about right now? Champ, drop that link I sent you the other day, the first tokenized platform, real estate platform on XRPL. I dropped it in Telegram earlier. And our guy, Wade Fuentes, he did an interview with those guys. So if you're in the academy, we're going to drop that interview for you guys to watch it. And if you better be following Ray because you would have saw him posted the situation. They got one property on there right now. It's in Cleveland, Ohio.
Shout out to Ray.
Shout out to Ray.
Yeah.
Big piece of the puzzle. So we have tokenized assets on the XRPL ledger. What happens when we go to emerging countries and we have more of an upside and we start to tokenize assets in those countries to allow Americans, our tribe, to invest in those assets? What happens when we have, there they go, they glitching me again. What happens when we have sovereign ID cards from these countries? What happens when you have visas and you can go in and out of certain countries? What happens when we could offload money in Southeast Asian countries, in Panama? What happens when you don't have to do business in America, even if you live in America? What happens when they don't even know your digital footprint around the world because they can't keep up with the situation because you're no longer local?
Mm-hmm.
So y'all want me to stop shooting infomercials? Y'all see me as an infomercial dude? Champ told me, I didn't even hear it. I heard her yesterday, but I wasn't paying mind to it. He broke it down. I was like, oh, she didn't even know she was on off mute.
Mm-hmm.
You tripping. You talking while I'm talking. You tripping. I'm just showing the opportunity.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. These opportunities, first and foremost, they don't even come across the ether. You know what I mean? So for them to be presented in this manner with this type of care and regard from people who have showed, tried, and proven for years, this is Dot Connect 90. I don't think y'all understand that. This is the 90th episode. And y'all paid for this? Listen, shout out to Uncle Reggie. Shout out for the tip on YouTube. Legia Ferreira.
Oh, we
Shout out
making
to
some
them.
money?
They dropped some bread.
I can
Shout
get a
out to
lineup
y'all.
tomorrow.
Yeah, we get a lot up.
Let's go.
Look, I could get half my bid done.
That's
You know what I
right. Just
mean?
half of it. And the crazy part is that, listen, the tariffs, y'all tripping. Y'all don't have to raise these prices just because he said whatever. Nothing is affected right now. But
Right.
this capitalist mindset, like, yo, we got to stop, like, just biting our own faces, man. This ain't it.
Yeah.
I landed, I met with uh, uh, Professor D, who's going to be teaching mindset in the academy, did an overnight, go to a restaurant in Fort Lauderdale, Los Olas. I haven't even been there. They built up Fort Lauderdale crazy from the last time I've been there, right, Zoe? Los Olas,
Mhm.
whatever. It's nice. But the bill wasn't that nice when you coming from where I came from. I'm like, what do we just got two dishes. Listen, I would have ate for like 3 days and I would have had seafood and all types of stuff. So anyway, so having a plan B outside the US is no longer a luxury, guys. It's survival. Okay. I've been saying this, I get these premonitions. So I've been saying this since last year. So when I was on that 101 coming off of it, a lot of people in the academy were upset. But if I don't go past this, then I'm just kind of standing in this with y'all.
Mhm.
I don't need to play catch up. I've been doing this since for 10 years and Chance been doing it for 10 years. So we just the fact that we even able to put something like this together, to hold it down for 90 episodes every single Wednesday, to have unlimited. I mean, listen, these things used to be 3-4 hours. Right, Mike? He knows all our existing. Wayne, right? We had groups, 2-3 hours, 4, 5, 6 people in a group, and we were delivering. It wasn't about the numbers for us ever. I
Mhm.
just figured out how to monetize YouTube. I didn't care for that. So they're not only killing you on YouTube, but then they also selling you verticals. I bought the memberships. It's not worth the squeeze. And you just don't know what you don't know. Because if you can't put it aside, Chris Johnson, if you're watching this, all these Bitcoin dudes, when I jump inside those chats, it's like, yo, nah, I'm a big dog. Like everything sounds smart to somebody that just doesn't know anything about it. Bitcoin is a psyop. I don't care if it gets to $1 million. This is not a great buying opportunity based on what I know.
Yep.
But riddle me this: somehow you would get this, you create this asset, and somehow you can You can buy the asset, borrow against the asset to buy more of the asset, to then borrow against the asset to buy more against the asset. Who is managing the debt? Bitcoin got to owe somebody money, no?
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's not called a Ponzi? I'm just
Freaking
asking
fine.
for a friend.
Yeah.
So when Champ was calling Bitcoin and ETH a meme coin, yeah, we ain't give context because we ain't even got time to do that because we needed to get to the real stuff. But I got the time now. It's a project that they created because they knew that this day was going to come. It's a smart move on their part, but you telling me that they created something that gives you sovereignty over your own money?
Yeah, right.
And anything of store value is not supposed to be priced like that and be volatile like that. Because we're not talking about the world even invested in this sort of situation. It might only be a few guys that got this. And I'm talking about a few guys at the top. So when nations are buying this thing up, it's just a new play. The United States has created a new digital asset to sidestep gold, guys. That's it. Bitcoin. Fucking dumb.
Beta.
Beta test coin. All right. So investing in emerging markets and gaining exposure to global currencies, land and digital assets is the new play. We kept telling you that. We're moving to an asset-based society. Y'all got to leave the debt alone. If you're going to take the debt, convert it to assets and be able to service that debt for a little bit. You understand? But right now we at that point. So when they drop that interest rate, I'm telling you, y'all might want to grab some of that debt and convert it into some assets because you
Exactly.
guys know what plays you need to be in. And this ain't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. What's the rest of the shit?
Yeah.
That part.
This is for educational purposes only. Hello.
There we go.
Yeah, nah,
So
Chuck.
here's my challenge to you guys, right? Are you positioning yourself globally? Or are you stuck playing defense in a collapsing empire? Answer the question. Put a one in the chat if you're positioning yourself right now globally and be honest. Put a two in the chat if you're just playing defense in a collapsing empire. Let's be honest. I'm a one. God forbid I shot this infomercial. Y'all want to play defense with these guys? So now let me give you guys a little bit of exercise. We did this yesterday, but we got some new people in the room. YouTube, pen and pad. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
Okay. All right. Fill in the following sentence 10 times quickly. And I don't want you guys thinking about it. All right. If I trusted myself, I would fill in the blanks quickly 10 times. Don't think about it. If I trusted myself, I would. Now, when you read through those answers, how much of what you've written is already present in your life? And the action should give you what? A rough idea of how much you trust yourself. And I'm gonna tell you that everything that you want is in you. It don't matter what champion I tell you. It doesn't matter what the financial system is, whether it's up or down. I don't care how much you get paid at work. Look at that list. We have a lack of trust in ourselves and our ability. That's why I wanted to put what I'm doing on Front Street. It's better we go at it together because that's when you get the top 1% splitting from the top 1%. But who the hell gave them that much power? Because if we don't buy their products, they're cooked. They'd be begging you. Everything will go on sale. Stop buying so much. I mean, yo, simplify life. Stop buying so much. You get the shit. The TV gets old, and you got to buy a new one, and just turn it off. We are consumers. We don't produce anything. We can't think for ourselves. AI is here. It's making us dumber. Simplify it. Take it back to the essence, guys. I'm telling you. It's the only way you're going to gain sanity in this. We're not robots. I'm just simplifying my life at this point now. Yes, I'm cashing on this digital asset revolution. Yes, I'm gonna put the money back out and do the right thing with it and make sure that, the circumstances and people around me have things. Yes, I'm gonna keep building verticals and creating opportunity and shooting infomercials anytime I want because I built this shit alongside Champ.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm gonna keep offering opportunity through the use of tokenization to make sure that y'all don't have to work and do things that you don't want to do. Because here's the last question. If you didn't have to do anything for money, would you be doing the things you're doing today? I can't get on a podcast. Like these dudes don't want to hear this shit. They just want to play dumb. I'm ready to do some Charleston White type stuff and just start being ignorant just to get a message out. But I don't want to do that. That goes against my core. I asked for 150 people. We got 150 people. The power of just asking. So for next Wednesday, if y'all want me to spaz out, bring some more people in the room. I'm looking for 200 people next week. I ain't asking for much. And if it's not valuable information and he told you Ondo, O-N-D-O, that's how you spell it?
Hello. Yep. I know.
Ondo, under $1, well below 30% from its all-time high. Shit, you better do your own research. And when you're in the academy, you kind of know how to do the research. You know how to make the connection points. He already led you to water. Now all you have to do is what?
Right.
Just drink it. The global sovereign access is the new play for us. I'm beyond talking about cryptocurrency projects now. If you're in the 1%, you know what it is. When we got a 1% meeting coming up in May,
Yep.
we bringing on a heavy hitter
Yep.
to bless us on that one, to make some more connection points. Guys, you are invested in the number one asset of the fourth industrial revolution. When you start to look at every single one, I would urge you guys to research the last three industrial revolutions and look at they all had one thing in common. It was technology. The financial system has never had an upgrade the way that we're seeing it right now. The boardrooms, the asking for permission, all the controls. We're at that pivotal point in time right now. But I'm telling you that when it becomes digital, these guys aren't going to care when they want you to do something. When they want to stimulate the economy, and you got a time clock on your digital asset because you weren't invested well, you're going to start to panic and you're going to invest back into their smart cities, back into their pockets. These guys are looking to dominate, man. So when I see these platforms talking about the billions and B and Diddy and Jay-Z and all this, I'm like, bro, these ain't the guys. Those ain't the guys you want to achieve to be, man. They just gave them an opportunity. And what we do, we thinking that they come from circumstances, but it's one of like none. And they might throw a little bone here and there, but that's part of that whole play. That shit is an illusion, man. That shit is dumb. They not out here teaching you cryptocurrency. They're not out here really showing you how to make the plays. They just selling you on hope. Y'all remember that dumbass president we had before that ran a campaign on that hope? Oh, let me talk to the brothers. Global elite. Don't fall for it.
Mhm.
He, she, they, whatever they are, reptilian.
Ah, that's down the rabbit.
Close it out.
Listen,
And I say this with love too.
Steve,
You
welcome
killed the
back.
first part though. You killed the first part.
Welcome back. Welcome to fuck
Let's
back.
go.
Listen, we love y'all, man. Doc and Neck Wednesdays, episode 90. This is how I'm gonna end this one, right? So in real time. You guys can see the phone. So you see my head down. It's not that I'm not being professional. I'm dialed in 100% listening to my man cook. But he does this, right? We do this in our sleep. Somebody in the chat asked a question, and I like it, right? The average person would be offended. Said, hey, do these guys ever show their portfolio? How transparent are they? What I'm gonna say to that is one, no, we don't show our portfolio, but we can. But we don't. Why? Why would we divulge the portfolio? What's the purpose? Are you listening? Are you hearing what's being said? Are you hearing the forward thinking, the love, the leadership, the energy? This is about freedom. This ain't about some numbers on a screen. 7 plus. Like, that's not what this is about. This is different over here.
Somebody dropped that in the chat.
Absolutely. And I ain't knocking them. But what I am knocking is I honestly am asking. I'm posing that.
No, bring him up. Him or her, bring him up. Unmute.
They on YouTube. I don't know how to do that.
All right, let me just address that then. So if you are in the academy, which I know you're not, we dropped an updated security parameter, and one of the things was called wrenching, right? And the reason that I don't drop my portfolio because I don't got one. That's what you want to hear? Because somebody gonna get hurt. So what wrenching is it's an attack where they come to your home or wherever and they pretty much hold you at ransom. The CEO of Ledger was part of a wrench attack with his family. They severed his fingers to get to that. Many people from Ripple landed in certain countries and they were kidnapped with their cold storage wallets and had to transfer the funds out. Right? These are wrenching attacks. You got a firearm near you?
Not right now. Yeah, I
Uh,
can get it though. I'm about 3 seconds away.
okay, I'm just making sure.
Oh, okay.
Play if you want,
Right.
for obvious reasons. That's where you guys fall short because you always trust the science, trust the financial advisor, trust the guy with the most money. You too dumb to even see they playing you. Because if that's your measure, then this is the wrong conversation. There's another group that talks on Mondays. Y'all can go on that side. You welcome. Don't show your portfolio.
Ever.
I don't even got one.
Oh, I forgot. You're not invested in crypto. Yeah, yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
why would I buy crypto? I don't know anything about it.
Damn.
YouTube. Join the academy. That's an infomercial.
I like that.
Skytonacademy.com, skytonacademy.com. Nah, but all jokes aside, now you don't show your portfolio. And even if I did show you my portfolio, what would it do for you at the end of the day? It'll probably make you upset
Real talk.
if I did have one. Guys, you got to be careful out here. Nobody's putting their numbers up front. And that's another American thing too, right? The Forbes list, the this, the that, people faking numbers just to get on this thing. It's egotistical and it's like my girl Candace Owen says, and this is not a dig to anybody that's of that lifestyle, but she's like it's faking gay. But it's bigger than that. It's not about a particular person, it's just about a system.
Mm-hmm.
Show my portfolio. It's like Chris Johnson. That's what he did too. Anytime they go to that part, that means they have nothing else to talk about at that point now. How much money you got?
Um, Listen, if we know what we was talking about, one of our students, shout out to Twitty. My guy said in the chat, I'm 500% up from Skyton Academy and quit my job in January. What month is this? It's April. Twitter, you clocked back in since? Oh, okay.
I'm not. Y'all heard me talking about globalization. I wasn't talking nothing about no making no money in the United States, or I'm just giving you. I'm giving you guys a warning. That's all I'm saying. I killed the real estate market. I killed Airbnb. I killed Turo. I've been the guy that has been pinging these things, and I haven't been wrong since. So if I'm telling you where the bread is at, that's where the bread is at Because if there's one thing about me, I can see it before it happens. And the other thing too is I can carry a heavy load, and I love giving opportunity to a lot of people. So I'm gonna keep shooting these infomercials. Fuck what you say.
Facts. And we gonna
And,
keep
and
delivering.
you know you need there's no way that you can cancel this membership and go somewhere else at this point in juncture. Good luck. Because we just getting started. I'm back out in Latin America next month again. And we're gonna keep moving. We're gonna keep moving. Listen, I'm gonna end it one more time on this one. And hopefully it didn't go over anybody's heads. Having a plan B outside of the US is no longer a luxury, it's survival. We got a hand up. You can clip YouTube if it's possible.
All right, YouTube. We appreciate y'all. Big love. Shout out to all the tips and all that good stuff. We'll see y'all next week, same time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Love y'all.
SkytonAcademy.com, $50 a month.
Infomercial.
Infomercial. What we got?
Peace.
We got
Peace. All right.
she's back. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, I had to dig myself out of some matrices, but what really called me to speak today was one, the beta test coin.
Mm-hmm.
And who's championing that? Michael
Mm-hmm.
Saylor. Okay, everybody. What happened to Michael Saylor in the dot-com bubble?
Talk to him.
What happened? Just look it up. That's a Trojan horse masking itself in laser eyes and buy a Bitcoin, mortgage your house. He gonna be the clown again. Going down with the ship, the sacrificial lamb.
Let's go.
I'm not sure if this was an AI thing, but I saw some posts online where he was like, he was in orange and he was like dressed as the Pope. And that's a side thing too. The Pope dies, supposedly 88 years old. Charles Schwab steps down and he's 88 years old. What's going on the same day? What's going on with that? And then just, you know, rounding everything out to what Steve was saying about being consumers. Like, this is something we all have to heal from, and I'm healing from this personally. Because a couple days ago, I really meditated on it, and I'm like, man, as people, we can be trash. Like, we are actually parasites. We litter, we create garbage, we do all this consuming, and I have to step back and say, man, what am I giving back to this planet, giving me life? What am I actually putting back? What am I actually establishing? Because they're going to keep telling you Ouroboros, Ouroboros. They're just going to keep telling you to eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and take and take. And then people want this money so much. And the reality is, even if you pick the right assets, if you don't have this mindset, you just going to pour that shit in the very system that you complain about. The whole point is to exit. The whole point is to extract and remove ourselves from the leech, from the parasites, not to become a parasite now with money. It's just to represent my dad, and I'm very certain he was not the first person to say this, but at a very young age, he told me, money just makes you more of what you are. And some of us, quite frankly, are fortunate that our money is at where it's at.
Wow.
Because you want the billions, you want all that. Do you want the smoke that comes with that? You want your digits being cut off? So everybody stay with your process, stay grounded, critically think. Like, I put this in Chat GPT, or not Chat GPT, but an AI this week about just what is the advantage as an AI you're advancing. What is a human's advantage? And you'll get some interesting answers. And one of that is just the fact that we have a story, the fact that we're a legend. And it pisses me off seeing these sporting events. Kudos to the athletes, kudos to the mastery that they have. But when I look at a crowd, the worship that these people get, but every single one of those people in the seats are legends too. Like, what is your legend? The celebrities, the athletes, like they are not the only stars. We are the stars. But what is a star that doesn't want to shine? A star that lost its damn mind. So I'm gonna close it off there.
Mic drop.
Mic
No,
drop.
not yet. So now that we're talking about stars, let's go astrology. So
Okay.
understand these powers know the gift of spirituality, numerology, astrology. These guys don't just build things and release things. It's all symbolism, right? So you have to know the age that we're in right now. So we already entered it. This just entered, I believe, March 30th. It was Neptune. Neptune enters Aries, and the world's about to change. So everything that we know has happened before, prior, right? You just look at it. Even when you look at during the pandemic, like all of this stuff is all ruled by moon and stars, right? And planets. So when Neptune enters Aries, and I might have did this segment before, but I'm gonna break it down again. All right. So can you feel it? Right? That means something big is coming. Once in a lifetime big. All right. This is an astrological shift that only happens every 165 years. All right. So the last time we saw this transit, the world was at war. All right. And you can check all this out too. Revolutions erupted. Technology took a massive leap forward. And now we're stepping into it again. So we're already here. It started in March. Okay. So Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusions, and collective consciousness. All right. It's about the moving Aries, the warrior zodiac. So now you get these two meeting each other. All right. And if history has shown anything, the next 13 years will be game changing. All right. So what's coming? What happened the last time this occurred? And most importantly, how can you prepare for it? Listen to this, guys. We're still on record.
Yep.
All right. So every time Neptune moves into Aries, the world hits a breaking point. So the last time, this was 1861 to 1875. And this is what we saw. The American Civil War, a brutal fight over freedom, power, and identity, the abolishment of slavery, a complete dismantling of a system, an old system, revolutions across Europe, Russia, and Japan, right? People fighting to reshape government. This is what happened during that time. Sound familiar? Okay. The Industrial Revolution explodes. This is railroads, um, mechanical warfare, basically. The mass production changed the world forever. This all happened in this cycle. Sound familiar? So what does Neptune and Aries means for us? So in the next 13 years will be about action, courage, and conflict. This is not an era of sitting back and watching. It's an era of rising up, breaking through, and redefining leadership. Can't use the old talking points in a new system. So what do you expect with Neptune and Aries? More ideological battles, right? Entire belief systems will clash. Governments, movements, and global institutions will be tested. The Vatican, done. Radical leaders will rise. Some would be revolutionaries. Others will be tyrants. You got to figure out who you are and what side you want. And if you don't have a side, it'll be picked for you. Straight up. Activism will become more aggressive, not the Black Lives Movement. Not that activism. Not the praying to sit on the front of the bus. Not that one.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout outs to those guys, but not that one. The fight for justice would take new intensity. How to prepare for it. Find your mission. Aries rewards action where you're meant to step up, basically. Stay adaptable, right? Things are going to change fast. Think critically. You set this up too. She set this up nice. Neptune brings illusions. Don't get caught up in manipulation. All right. So this is an era of warriors. Some will fight with weapons. Remember, I told you, you gotta start smacking dudes. Others with ideas. The question is, where do you stand? For the past decade, we've been in Neptune and Pisces, right? That's a dreamy, emotional, spiritual era, right? Then we all feel like, oh, this manifestation and the breath work and that shit was cool, right? Got our
Mm-hmm.
lungs together. It's cool. It was preparing us for something, but it was dreamy. Pisces amplifies collective suffering. Here's what defined this era: a rise in mental health awareness. This is the last 10 years, right or wrong. Spiritual awakening, psychedelics. Let's talk about it. Um, collective healing, manis, and I know the word. It's just
What is it?
manifestation, right?
Manifestation.
Manifestation. I'd be tripping. Social media illusions, filters, deep fakes, influencer culture. Sound familiar? Trauma work, therapy, identity exploration. See where we were headed? But Neptune and Aries doesn't care about dreams. Aries is about action. How is it changing in 2025? The rise of bold, unapologetic leaders, more aggressive activism, less emotional processing, more direct confrontation.
Hmm.
That's my man Mike say dissonant. What's the shit, Mike?
Cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance. I'm
Yeah.
like talking stuff, man. Mike gonna come up here too. Um, so the shift, if Neptune's in Pisces was about feeling everything, Neptune's in Aries is about burning through it. Neptune in Aries isn't just about political revolutions, it's about breaking new frontiers. The last time we saw this transit, this is what happened. The Industrial Revolution took off. Um, Mary Carey discovered radioactivity, launching new age of science. So y'all see what's happening now. Y'all know this digital revolution is based in what? Cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, AI, and automation.
Yep.
Okay. Um, what could this mean for you? 2025 to 2033. So we're gonna be in this for 13 years, guys. Okay. So AI and robotics evolution, fully autonomous machines, AI gaining legal rights, who knows? Space colonization gets real. These guys is tripping. They haven't even been there. But that's another conversation. And y'all saw Bezos the other day with his little fiasco. Man, what can you say to them? Nothing. It's all made up. Moon bases, Mars colonies, corporate run space industries. Like I was telling Champ today, all this digital gold being held in a vault in Switzerland. I'm like, bro, I think that's a rug pull, man. But shit, I'm up on Glint Pay, so it's definitely hedging me against inflation.
Or
But who saw it? I haven't been to Switzerland.
I ain't been either.
Yeah,
I
I
ain't been
definitely
there.
ain't seen no vote.
All right.
Where's all the gold? Fort Knox? I don't think so. Human bioengineering, neural implants, genetically modified everything. Um, Remember, and these guys are just really trying to control all things, right? Our water supply, our food supply, the air. They want to block the sun. Like you'll be paying for sunshine. Shit, they might even find a way to charge us for every breath if we allow it. So the merging of man and machine, this is where we at. So when you go to these emerging countries, yo, they so far behind and so deep rooted in culture that that shit would not develop in 100 years. So here's the big question to ask: what does it mean to be human in a world where technology is evolving faster than we can regulate it? Here's where things get a little scary. The last time this conjunction happened, the US was in the middle of a civil war. And guess what? Back then, the revolutionary Uranus was in communication, focused and idea oriented Gemini, just like it would be in the late 2020s. So every time that conjunction happened in US history, this is what happened. Major war followed: 1770, American Revolution; 1860, Civil War; 1940, World War II. Drop a one in the chat if you think that somebody's not going to fuck around and find out. So when we're looking at places to land they say if there is two neighboring countries warring with each other, it's an American is sitting in between it. Right. I was in Colombia. I didn't hear about no bullshit. They was no connections. They're not going through the stuff that we're going through here. I'm just telling you from boots on the ground, and I'm looking at it from all angles. Um, here's what, and you can't think of a war like the traditional sense of those old wars, right? Political extremists is spiking. Them white nationalists, you gotta watch them dudes, man. Them dudes ain't really cut right. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no real like negotiation you can do with those type guys. Nationalism is on the rise. And think about it. So when you think of nationalism, let's say in Burkina Faso versus nationalism in the United States, what do you think the difference is in those two nationalist movements? One wants to do an ethnic cleansing, the other one just wants those white nationals out of their country or whatever we're calling them. We all for YouTube, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. We would get $1 over there.
Click.
Done. Protests and civil unrest is becoming a new norm. All right. So things are only going to get amplified, guys. Tension. So you see, history doesn't repeat exactly, but it rhymes. Don't let that go over your head. The awareness of these cycles are everything thought. Okay. They provide the beat to which we meet these cycles. It's a rhythm. Once you understand the rhythm, you know how to move with it. That's what the academy is about. We are the fucking rhythm. I don't just shoot infomercials all day. I'm gonna let that go after this, though. This is the last time I'm addressing it. All right, so Aries is a fire sign. And every time Neptune moves through, we see massive fires, wildfires. Sound familiar? Destruction and environmental collapse. Some historical patterns include the Great Chicago Fires, the Boston Fires, and massive American forest fires. So things aren't done burning yet, and we're in a pole shift now. So when you're looking at making moves around the world, you got to check the volcano activity. You got to check who's underneath the plates, right? So from what I'm hearing, there's going to be certain countries and places that we love, right? That's connected to nature that can, you saw what happened in Thailand. So riddle me this. If the pole shift really does happen and you get some of these places that kind of get destroyed, and then you find places and safe havens in the world that are on the equator and don't have volcanoes and storms and things like that based on historical data, what do you think the value of moving to these places are, or even having set asset in those places? Y'all see where I'm going with this? So I didn't just pick a spot and just did some old Where's Waldo shit. You feel me? This is a calculated movement right here. But what do I know? The guy doesn't even know his proper English. What do I know? All right. So 2025 to 2033 could mean what for the environment? The most extreme wildfires and climate disasters, cyber fires. This is the part, guys. Y'all thought it was about regular fires. Hacking, AI hacks, digital warfare, cold storage hack, exchange hacks, the burning down of old systems, political, economic, and social. This isn't just about literal fires, guys. This planet historically has set itself ablaze as a means of purification. This is what it's all about. The old world is burning to make way for something new. And my wife said she saw something the other day that said America was going to burn. I don't know. I think she said 300 or 400 years. Could it be karma? Let's talk about it. So how to navigate this trend, This is where you guys need to listen. The rise of bold was coming. The rise of bold warrior-like leaders. I don't know if y'all know any of those guys. Let me know. I'm looking for them. More clashes of ideology and activism, AI, space, and biotech breakthroughs, political and social unrest, a shift from dreaming to action, how to move through it, stay adaptable. Things are changing fast. Think critically. This is everything that we're doing in Professor D's class, and we are preparing you for more than just having money because that's not going to solve all the problems, guys. They going to mind fuck us right now.
Yeah.
All right. Don't get caught up in manipulation. Find your mission. Aries rewards action. Stop wasting your time with things that don't matter. These next 13 years will set up the rest of your life and whoever you're going to leave it to after. So if you pick the wrong dice to shoot, you're going to crap out. And use courage wisely. Don't waste it on pointless fights. Let's no longer argue about who's on first. Did Shannon Sharp do it or not? Doesn't matter.
Distractions.
That's what America does well. It sacrifices its own people. And we sit there and we watch it and we cheer as we get entertained. Either way, you're wasting time. Some will rise as pioneers, others will crash and burn. But never forget, we are the architects of this world. With our passion, our clarity, our action, we plant the seed of new reality for those who came before us, those walking beside us now, and those who inherit the earth long after we're gone. This is the imprint of existence. This is why we're here. Where do you see yourself in this new era? Are you ready to lead? Are you bracing for the storm? Let's talk about it. So you got the system play from champ, you got practicality, and then you got just what nature is doing. That's the Black Swan event that nobody's talking about. It's going to last for 13 years. We're going to have a 13-year Black Swan event. And I'm telling you, I'm not going on I told you so tour. I'm going to just go dark. And then for those of you who are connected to us, you already know where we at. For those of you who are not, it's going to be like Discord. There's still people over there like, yo, where y'all at? The only difference is I'm not leaving a forwarding address this time. I don't know what Champ's going to do, but I'm not leaving a forwarding address. That's all I got for y'all.
One hell of a disconnect.
This is an instant classic. This is probably the best one.
90. 2 hours, 15 minutes.
Take us out.
Listen, it's not really more to say. Connect Wednesdays, episode 90. He cooked. I was just here.
Oh, you cooked.
He was a
You
fly
killed
on the
it.
wall for me. I was a fly on the wall for him. Now you see it, man. It's just pure brilliance. But what I do want to say for me to you, definitely appreciate your energy. Glad you back. You know what I mean? Glad to have you here to whip up and cook up in person. You was talking spicy last 2 days. You was in your bag. I
I'm
like
going dark again, man. I told you this is Chance World. He just allowed me to just come sit in on a little meeting today. So I'm back working. Tomorrow actually we're doing the first call for the resort.
Yeah.
So for all those that signed up, you got the link for tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you didn't, skytonacademy.com/Luminera. You can drop that in the chat. That's going to be a powerful one, guys. That's the global shift. This ain't a luxury. It's survival time. And I thrive in these times, man. I thrive. And it's better to go at it with people. So this project's going to be tokenized. If you can't come in on the first wave of it, cool. We're going to tokenize the second wave of it. And then we're going to keep moving. All right, you can stop the recording and then we can take some questions.